Crossing deep water requires very careful consideration, as the consequences of getting out of your depth can be serious. Before making your decision on whether or not to proceed, it's essential to check your proposed route on foot. Park in a safe position on dry land and wade into the water using a pole or your shovel to assess its depth and to see if the base is firm enough to take the weight of your vehicle. Remember to check both sides of the route for the complete distance of the crossing, as the ground below might drop away at any point, and look out for any hidden rocks or obstacles below the surface. You should then compare the measurement of the deepest point with your vehicle's maximum recommended wading depth, stated in your owner's handbook. As a general guide, water depth should not exceed the top of the wheel rim. Once behind the wheel, stick to your chosen route, maintain a safe, steady speed, and don't take any unchecked shortcuts. Don't enter deep water at speed. Beneath the surface, the ground will often fall away steeply. Creating a big splash may not only damage the environment, but also your vehicle. This is not the correct way to do it. Prepare by selecting a low gear and proceed into the water gently. Once in the water, you may select a higher gear if necessary to reach a speed where a bow wave is created. On a manual transmission vehicle, there's no need to slip the clutch, but don't select a gear which risks you stalling. The bow wave is an effective means of lowering the depth of the water around your Land Rover's engine bay and air intake. The wave creates a cavity in its wake, reducing the water level. Ideally, the wave should be no further than 1 meter in front of your vehicle. Don't worry about your exhaust pipe being submerged. Water will not enter the exhaust unless you stall the engine. In some parts of the world, beach driving is permissible and often the fastest and safest way of getting from place to place. However, before you begin to contemplate beach driving, you must be certain that it is allowed in your chosen location. You should also take the utmost care not to cause any damage to what is a fragile natural environment that takes many years to become established. Sand is unpredictable in terms of support and stability. Look out for telltale changes in color that can indicate areas where you might find the sand to be softer and run the risk of getting stuck. The damp sand between the high and low tide marks can sometimes provide a firmer surface for driving, but can also be very soft. Always try to avoid driving here unless you are in convoy with other vehicles. Should you be unlucky and become stranded, your vehicle may be in danger of being swamped by an incoming tide, so help needs to be on hand as quickly as possible. Try not to raise too much salt spray as you drive, and in general avoid driving in seawater, as it can cause corrosion. After a period of beach driving, you should take care to rinse the underside of your Land Rover to remove any salt water and sand. Details of how to set up your vehicle for beach driving can be found in the sand driving section of the main menu. Crossing ridges requires a different technique from that used for crossing ditches. If you attempt to cross a ridge at 45 degrees, you're likely to lift wheels off the ground and to lose traction, making the crossing impossible. The correct method is to approach the ridge straight on. But it's important to be aware of the critical vehicle angles, especially the ramp angle, to be sure that you can make it over the top without the risk of grounding or becoming stranded.